Let's just take a deep breath together. As we put our hand on our hearts and breathe, let's just take a breath. Perhaps you feel your heartbeat going fast or slow, and just take a breath. How comforting it is. Just savor this moment. This moment is all there is. This moment is all that exists. And we're grateful for this one moment, for this one thing that we're doing, just putting our hand on our hearts and breathing. Just this one thing. And now we go to the next thing, because that's all that exists too, which is we put our hands around our bodies and we hug ourselves. We give ourselves such a big hug for the work that we're doing, the highest and best that we're doing at any given moment. We just wrap our hands around. I'm trying to wrap my hands around without really messing with the cable, but just hug yourself, in a genuine way. Just hug yourself. Just love yourself, hug yourself. Just squeeze yourself, and maybe you want to say to yourself, I love myself. I care for myself. I honor myself. I love myself. I care for myself. I honor myself. Just take a deep breath in that space. And now this next moment of hugging yourself again. How many times have we done this? Have we hugged ourselves? Have we been hugging ourselves? What have we been doing? Let's hug ourselves again. Even if it's hard, just love yourself. I love myself. I care for myself. I honor myself. And now this next moment, this next moment that we have, right? Because this is all we have. I just want to remind us that whatever might be existing is just a story. Whatever you might be thinking about right now is just a story. Nothing is happening. It's what's happening is this moment. If you're watching this online stream right now, this is all that exists. This is all that is right now, this moment. Whatever else might be existing is just thoughts, projection. So I just want to offer here in this space, this vortex of love, this call for love in this space, to invite you to be here now, knowing that this is all that exists in this moment. So the next question is, actually the first question is, after the hugging exercise, is, and I'll get to the chat in a second because I see people asking me questions, is, do you really believe that? What you just said to yourself when you hugged yourself, if you did the exercises, like, I love myself, I care for myself, I honor myself. Is this true? Are you believing this? Are you living this? Because this is the cause, light workers, is to really believe that to be true for you. And that's the existence. That's all that is. That's all that is available. That's because it's what we are. So when you hugged yourself, you said, I love myself, I honor myself, I care for myself. Do you believe this to be true? Because that's the call for love right now, is to live in that space. It's our work to go within. It's our work to do our part, only our part. We don't worry about anybody else or what's going on outside or trying to tell others what to do or or focus on the external, but now it's time to get to work inside. Now it's time to do the work internally. Now's the time to sit with your thoughts and to start to do the work. I said for a long time, and I've been saying this, and those have been working with me for years and have, been on my classes and we've been, a lot of healing has happened in these groups and in the group, the Live Your Happy group and the book and the 9-week program and the tune-ins I do every month. There's been this constant message that's been no compromising, no making exceptions. No compromising, no making exceptions. And now this is a big happy slap in the face right now. And I call it a happy slap in the face because it's a beautiful, gentle way that the universe is giving us. It's like giving us a little pat in the butt. Okay, a little pat in the butt to just say, the time has come. It's like a little gentle pat in the butt of, right now is the time to really not compromise and make exceptions. It's as if this is giving you a little push to be like, okay, now is the time to step up your game. Now is the time to, wherever you are not showing up for yourself in the light, wherever you are not really practicing these teachings. And that's what Live Your Happy is about, right, guys? You guys that have read the book or have heard the audiobook, it's as if, the book is written in a way of really getting out of your own way. The book is written in a way to banish your fear and encounter love for real. So this is such a beautiful opportunity now to really practice these tools. This is really nice to do intellectually and, this, I am love, I am the light of the world. But really, do you believe that? Really, are you living that when you go to the grocery store? And are you living that when you're sitting in your body on the couch watching TV? Are you living that? And you could be watching TV and still be the light of the world. I'm not saying you can't watch TV, and I'm not saying you can't do anything. But what I am asking of my community, and what I am asking for all those that are joining this vortex of love, that the time has come to step up the game and to be the light of the world. And it's not cliche, and I'm not just saying this because I just want to say beautiful things. The time has come to be the light of the world. And we go back to our hug, is as that it starts with you. It starts with the conversations you have with yourself. It starts with the relationship you have with yourself. The call for love is within you. The call for love is to love you. And when you love you and you are in your power, you are automatically the light of the world because you are nourishing yourself. So as I was stepping into this call today, I did a meditation, and it was inspired by lesson 81, which is the lesson I'm on today. I'm recording the Course in Miracles lessons every day on YouTube. So if you want to see those, I will be posting links at the end of this satsang I'm doing. I will be sharing with you different links of resources to really help you at this time. And the lesson says, 81, I am the light of the world. And we're going to go back to this lesson in a second. So I am the light of the world, right? And it says here, how holy am I who have been given the function of lighting up the world? So what's our function? How holy are we that we've been assigned this role to be the light of the world? And I ask you, do you believe that? And are you living that? Let's get honest about that, because no more exceptions, no more compromising. Let me be still before my holiness. So it doesn't say be crazy within the holiness, be doing things. It says be still before the holiness. So you're being still, acknowledging your holiness. And your holiness is that you're whole and that nothing's lacking and that you are whole in God. You are holy, you are whole. Be still in that holiness. So again, we need to do the work of going within as best as we can. I know that we have children at home. I know that we have different dynamics at home now, that we're in more of a closed space, it appears. Find the time to be still before your holiness. In its calm light, let all my conflicts disappear. Right? So this is huge. All my conflicts. So the conflicts, what are they? So just think about those conflicts. There's conflicts right now that we're experiencing, let's say, as a collective of fear of the future, or concern of any sorts, or thinking about situations in your life. It could be money, relationships, how this world is going to function. So right now there's appears to be conflicts, there appears to be problems, there appears to be certain types of movement going on that is not what we are, not what we are supposedly ready for, or it's not the norm, etc. So it says here, in the calm light, let all my conflicts disappear. So the only way that the conflicts disappear, the answer is to be the light. So being the light, I'm not just saying, kumbaya, be the light, be the light, I am the light of the world. I'm not talking about here about cheerleader, light of the world business. I'm talking about live the light. So how do you live the light is remembering that the light has never left you. And that no matter how much caca you could be thinking, or no matter how much you could get stressed out, or believe your problems, or believe more in the laws of the egoic thought system, that's fine. But just remember that when you're in that chaotic thought system, you can come home at any time. God is waiting with open arms, the angels. The light is just waiting for the children to remember who they are. And then we remember, and then we're free, and then we get to be the light of the world. It's like within the conflicts, within the problems, you bow down to them. It's like you even bow down to them, acknowledging them, acknowledging your fear, acknowledging your problems, and and acknowledging that you believe there's problems. I believe I'm unworthy. I believe this fear. I believe I'm not going to be taken care of. You got to get very honest about that. I want you guys to work on this before we have our next gathering. If we have another one, we'll decide that at the end. But to really, in this process that we're going to have, where we leave this call and we come back in later, is to really get honest about your problems and about your conflicts, and kind of feel them. I'm so scared. I'm concerned. I feel unworthy. I don't feel capable. I'm scared I'm going to get sick. I'm scared I'm going to die. You feel that. You acknowledge that in yourself. You believe that you have these problems, and the Course in Miracles says there's only one problem, and the solution has already been given. The problem is we separated from God, and the solution's already there, because the truth is we've never left the mind of God. It's not happening. It's already resolved. We're here. And for those that are tuning in and are connected right now, I don't know if you feel it, but I feel it. And what I'm called to say is congratulations. Congrats. Congratulations. I don't know why that word keeps on coming. I'm like, well, how the F? I'm sure there's maybe children or teenagers on the call, which would be beautiful if children are listening to this. I kept on receiving from Spirit that every word would be given to me from the beginning to the end of this gathering. The words would be given to me. There's no preparation needed. And what I got was congratulations. Congrats. And I'm like, wow, how can we celebrate or congratulate anything at this point in time? It's so radical. And I ask you guys, whoever is on the call today at the gathering, that this might be a little bit scary for you, or perhaps my words, your ego might judge them, or might be thinking all kinds of things. So I invite you, if for any reason this call is not bringing you peace and you're not ready for this, that you can kindly leave the room, and that's okay too. There's nothing wrong here. But I do want to just let you know that a lot of radical things will be said on this call. And I can also say that they will be radically loving, because we need something of the opposite. We need a happy slap in the face. We need to wake up and to really know what is really true here, what is really real here. And I'm happy to give that to you, because as I give it, I'm giving it to myself. I give it to you, and as you're giving it, and as you explore this, you're giving it to me. We're all one. We're all in this together. So, congratulations. And it's funny because I have like an accent. Congratulations. It's my Cuban Miami accent. Congratulations. Congrats. Congrats on the opportunity to begin to start living that we have here. The opportunity to really start to understand what this thought system of love is. And I can't help but say that it's been given to us this way so that we can step up to that call. It's as if this is not offered to its children, this little slap in the butt, if it's not offered to its children, we just stay complacent. We stay complacent living the world as we've lived it. And I've said this many times in my gatherings, as transed out. The perfect word is zombied out, living in and day out as if we're robots, mechanically living. Waking up in the morning, going to work, coming back late, money, providing for our children, doing all these mechanical things, greed involved in the world, or selfishness, thinking that we're invincible, thinking that we know it all, basically thinking we can do it better than God. All this time, it's as if we've been living in this illusion, which it is. And actually believing that we're in the illusion and playing that illusion out. So what we're given now is the opportunity to wake up from this illusion. So that's why I say congratulations. Because we are mighty creators. And we are blessed that unconsciously, collectively, we're giving this gift to ourselves. This gift to ourselves. And this gift appears to not be exactly what we would like, what our little self would like, what our little tantrum little kid doesn't want, doesn't like. This is too much. This can't be happening. It's too much. And at the same time, there's something within the whole too much, within the tantrum, that wants this so bad. And this is the way it needs to show up, because the time has come to wake up. So it's coming through within the tantrum. This is really horrible, and there's a lot of fear, and within it there's like, please, Father, thank you. I want to wake up. I forgot to bring my tissues. I forgot to have my tissues. I love you guys so much, and I'm grateful that you joined me on this gathering. I have no idea what just happened there. I had a little thing that I was going to say in the opening, and I was going to tend to the chat, but I just love to just follow guidance and follow the words. Wow. Woo. So that little tap in the butt, it's really sweet. It's a sweet tap in the butt of that now more than ever. And it's not even now more than ever. It's always, let's say it's later or whatever point in time that we're at, it's the perfect time to, I love myself, I honor myself, I care for myself at any point in time. Because if I say now more than ever, it's making this situation very special, and it's actually judging the situation and making this situation very big. And the truth is I'm gonna say bye to Ine. Hi, Ine. That's fine. The replay is gonna be up, so if anybody needs to go at any point, the replay will be up. I'm also gonna download this video and I'm gonna put it on YouTube and I'm gonna put it all over the place. This is a message for everyone. And I'll get to the chat as well as soon as that comes through. But I just want to keep on hearing the flow of that pat in the butt is just for us to start to really live. And I don't know how you guys feel, and you can let me know on the chat if you've felt in the past before this time, if we want to reflect on the past, is do you think that you have really been living? Do you really think that you've been living to the capacity of love that you can live? Do you feel that you have really been living, or do you feel that you have been dying in a way? We've got caught up in our worlds, our individual worlds and vortexes, and in a very selfish state of mind of our own victimization and fears. We forget about the world, and now we're in this thought system of the world that it's structurized in a certain way that doesn't let us come to our true self. It's structurized with, having to make money for our family, having to be gone, a lot of times during the hours of the day, not home. For those that don't have families and live alone, it's just the same. It's just like the structure of waking up, and it's kind of like just the same old, kind of like Groundhog's Day, which is a really great movie to see right now, because Groundhog's Day is just this guy who living his life over and over. And for those that have had this experience, haven't you felt like you're kind of like in a Groundhog's Day? And even if you're spiritual and doing the ACIM lessons or reading any type of spiritual text, it doesn't matter. It's as if you're studying, but still it's like the same thing over and over again, and the same problems keep on coming up, and then you heal them. And then I'm not saying you don't make progress, but what I'm saying is it's as if we've been stuck. It's as if we've been stuck just running the same old tape, the same old CD, Now we use USB sticks, it's like the same old story. This is really shaking us up in such a beautiful way. Congratulations to us, because now we get to really play. Now we get to really put this knowledge that we have, this awakened perspective, into work if you want to. And that's why it's a call for love. So I'm calling for love from community. I'm calling for love in the world, and I'm calling for the love within myself. To how are we going to now be? How we're going to be with ourselves, how we're going to be with others. But most importantly, what are we going to remember to be true about us and show up in a whole new way? It's funny because my focus this year was I'm going to show up in the world in a whole new way. And this is what it looks like. It looks like very radical. And it looks like I need to face my fears. I need to face this veil of illusion, which is just the projection of what's happening. And we all have our individual curriculum, and we all have our own divine assignment. So I invite you to take your divine assignment. I know that there appears to be going on a lot of things. If you look at the news, there's different images that appear of different things that are going on in the world. And not saying that I'm not going to experience something like that tomorrow. I don't know. And quite honestly, I don't care, because I don't know what tomorrow holds. The only thing that I know is that I'm with you here right now, this moment. This is what matters. This is all that exists. And then the next moment, and then the next moment. So as you go through this healing experience, because it is a healing experience, and it's sort of like a birthday, of where you get to celebrate your awakening to Christ consciousness. The time has come. So every day you just, in this moment, I'm reading the Course in Miracles. It helps you to be home. It helps you to be within your space, because then there's little to do. There's not so much. You could be, okay, in this moment I'm having lunch and this is all I'm doing. But in the world, in the false world, in the old world, you're having lunch and you're thinking about your problems. You're having lunch and thinking about your next moment. Eckhart Tolle cannot stress this enough about the power of presence. A call for love is being present. In this moment, I'm brushing my teeth. In this moment, I'm having a glass of water. This is the only experience. Putting down the cup. Wow, Maria, you put that cup down so well. Congratulations. It's this opportunity to really just be with each moment, because the egoic thought system will take you to stories. And the stories is what's giving you any conflict or any problem at this moment. It's the stories in your mind. It's like a whole nother world in your head that is not really truly happening. Some of the things you're thinking. Maybe some of the things you're thinking do feel that they're happening because you're seeing them in outside. So it appears very real. And I'm not saying they're not happening, because in form it appears that they are. But our job as light workers is to hold the light, is to hold the space. And you're all capable of doing this. I'm just showing up as a facilitator just to remind you of that power, because the power to heal is really within you. And for those that I've worked with all over the world in my workshops, to sit down with spirit and channel, and they see that they have the answer within them. So the question could be, Maria, what do we do in times like this? What do I do right now with the fear that I feel right now? And what I say is, I don't know. But you know. You know. And this is a lie that we've been telling ourselves, that we have to look for our answers outside. You know. Your soul knows. You're so powerful that you have an endless channeling within you. You just need to sit and listen. I'm feeling fearful about money right now, about my future, spirit. What's the truth here? And receive. It's funny because a lot of people think that channelers are just specific people. You're a channeler, you're a channeler, you're a channeler, you're a channeler, and everybody else that's on this call has the power to really hear and listen. So I invite you to ask. Ask yourself, what is it that needs to be done right now? And listen. Perhaps you don't get anything and you write, I don't get anything, I'm frustrated. Spirit, how could I not be frustrated right now? And if there's somebody at the end that wants to do this channeling, we can do it. I can have one participant channel their answer. Yesterday I was on a podcast. It should be out in the next few days, and I'll share with you guys a link. And I don't know, I was very taken by and surprised when I asked the host to channel. And I didn't know what was going to happen. This was being filmed live in the moment. And he was kind of startled, like, what do you mean? And I said, just close your eyes and ask. And he sat down and he asked, and it was impressive, the answer he received in a very quick manner of exactly how can he be of service to the question he asked. And he was quite taken away when he opened his eyes and said, what was that? And I said, welcome to the inner world. Welcome to the truth about you. Welcome to your power. Congratulations, guys, community, loved ones, family. We get now to the opportunity to come in and be this for people and be this for ourselves. I read this week with a coaching client I have who is here on the call. Love you, brother. It says here, this is called, the poster called Wellness is Remembering My True Identity. I can totally send this to you guys. Okay. I will take a picture of it and send it on my follow-up email so you guys can use it through this time. This is from Pathways of Light, so of course I'll give them credit. I didn't write this. This came from my Pathways of Light ministerial curriculum. And we're going to go by paragraph. Wellness is remembering my true identity. So there's an answer there, right? So the call for love and what banishes fear is remembering our true identity. And this is what we've been doing since we started at the top of the hour, right? From the beginning, it's just a riff on remembering our true identity, on who we are in truth. And it says here, when I am honest with myself, I remember that I am God's light. So this is a call for being honest. And I invite you guys to be honest. You know, the spiritual practice and this way of being in the world is not about just cheerleader happiness. It's about getting really honest about your feelings. You have to feel it to heal it. And those have been working with me for a long time. We write our big deals down. Big deals are problems that we feel we're experiencing at this time, and we write them all down. And we have a fest of just throwing those big deals out there, and you guys can do this list. And then we sit with Spirit and ask Spirit, what is really real here? And you channel and you receive what is really real for each one, or what is really real, whatever comes to you. So when you're honest with yourself, you remember that you are God's light. But honesty is not just calling yourself out on your problems or on your unworthiness. Being honest with yourself is willingness. It's like, I have the willingness now to be honest with myself. I have the willingness now to see how I have blocked the light. You know, I'm willing to see how I've separated from God. I'm willing to see how I've believed the news. I'm willing to see how I'm fearful. I'm willing to see that I'm like a little kid having a tantrum because I'm so scared. I'm willing to be honest so that I can remember I am God's light. It's like this honesty with yourself, guys. You got to get in your heart. It's like the time has come to get out of the head of the intellectualizing. I mean, the reason I cry is because I intellectualized so much when I was back in the day. It's like, no, let's bring it heart-centered. Let's start to be really authentic and kind and start to really be honest with our fears. I'm scared. You know, I'm whatever that is for you. Let's get honest about how you've been at war with yourself. I've been at war with myself. I've been denying love. I've been at war with me. There's been an internal war going on that I'm fighting the egoic thought system. I'm fighting the fears so that I can experience my true self. But I keep on choosing the other voice. I keep on attacking myself. Get honest about that attack. We've been attacking ourselves. And all of this is just a reflection of that attack. So it could be seen in a very drastic way. Congratulations. So you can wake up more to the truth of who you are. This is such a blessing. I can't say it enough. Even though it appears it is not, it's a blessing. Very radical again. And you can leave the room whenever you please if this is not fitting for you. But I will not hold back the truth that I feel. And I'm not saying that this is the way. And I'm not saying that I'm right or that I'm wrong or that I have the answer. No, I'm just showing up so we can all remember this call for love for ourselves. Now this is going to start to get even deeper. This is just a little bit here. The second paragraph is, I don't try to change my identity through belief in separation, guilt, sickness, vulnerability, and suffering. Okay? So I don't try to change my identity through belief in separation, guilt, sickness, vulnerability, and suffering. And this is what we've been doing. We've been changing our identity in God and have replaced that identity with belief in separation. Belief in separation is your thoughts that you're unworthy, that you are not good enough. The belief in separation is I'm better than, or you have to do it right, or I should have, I could have, I wish I would have done it better. All these are separation techniques. Separation techniques are worry about the future and worry about the past. guilt, sickness, vulnerability. It's like we replace ourselves for these individual ways of being. We replace ourselves and like act out like puppets these scenarios of sickness, vulnerability, suffering, and separation. We got to get really honest about that. I don't try to change my identity. Let's stop changing our identity. We change our identity all the time. Or if we're not going to stop it, at least do our best and have willingness to want to stop. You got to get really honest that you've been changing your identity. I have to get really honest that I've been changing my identity. I had a good cry with this paragraph with the coaching I did this week with a participant, because I know what this feels like. I know this experience. Can we all experience this? Haven't we all experienced this experience of trying to change our identity through the belief separation, guilt, sickness, vulnerability, and suffering? Haven't we all chosen to do this? This is why I started crying. I'm like, oh my God, I have done this to myself. We've all done this to ourselves. Right? That's why it moved me. It touched me. I was like, oh, but it was nice to see it on paper. It was nice to read it, because then I'm like, oh my God, I've been playing this out. And this is what we've been doing, guys. We've been transed out. We have been believing in that separation. We've been zombied out. What's another word for that? If you guys have one, asleep. Let's go to the next paragraph. Matrix, says Renee. I now remember that I am God. Wait, that's I'm jumping ahead here. The next one is, I heal my mind as I recognize and release these false ideas. All right. So you heal your mind by recognizing and release these false ideas. Wow. Okay. Well, these false ideas need to come up. That's the first thing. You can't recognize them if you don't bring them up. If you complain about them and you're victimized, then there's no room for healing them, because you're in that matrix, as Renee just said, and you're forgetting who you are. So in this case, as I heal my mind, as I recognize first, you got to recognize these false beliefs so that way you can release them. You can't recognize these false beliefs, guys, when you're in the beliefs and you are living them out with judgments, no sense of responsibility, victimization, believing in separation, believing in guilt, believing in vulnerability, and believing in sickness. This is not the way we wake up. And it's okay if you're there too. That's fine. But I always say good luck with that. Good luck with that. But please don't feel guilty, because we're on our divine curriculum, and then sometimes we're just going to forget. And I'm going to go ahead and wipe my nose with my shirt right now. Excuse me. I forgot the tissue. There's just something to be said about just keeping it real, huh? All right, let's continue. I now remember that I am God's love, I am God's peace, and I am God's joy. I now remember that I am God's love, I am God's peace, I am God's joy. I now remember that I am God's love, I am God's peace, I am God's joy. I now remember that I am God's love, I am God's peace, I am God's joy. I now remember that I am God's love, I am God's peace, and I am God's joy. All together, mantra, I am God's love, I am God's peace, I am God's joy. I am God's love, I am God's peace, I am God's joy. Put your hand on your heart, I am God's love, I am God's peace, I am God's joy. Put your hand on your heart, I am God's love, I am God's peace, I am God's joy. You hug yourself, I am God's love, I am God's peace, I am God's joy. I am God's love, I am God's peace, I am God's joy. Yes, yes, yes. I am God's love, I am God's peace, I am God's joy. I am God's love, I am God's peace, I am God's joy. I am God's love. I am God's peace. I am God's joy. I am God's love. I am God's peace. I am God's joy. I experience healing and wellness by accepting my true identity as love. So this is a great answer, right? I experience healing. So how do we experience healing? Here's a great answer. I experience healing and wellness. And wellness is experiencing your true identity, remembering your true identity. That's what true wellness is. It's not a body wellness. It's a wellness of the heart, of your true self. And automatically your experience of whatever illness you might be going through or whatever you might be going through with your pain body, automatically you get to experience it with your true self because you're in true wellness. You get to experience it differently. I experience healing and wellness by accepting my true identity as love. So that's the call for love. The call for love is remembering our true identity right now. And what is real, really real here? What am I? Love. Where am I? In the mind of love. What else am I making real? ... What is that for you? Spirit, come in. Come in, Spirit, so that I can remember what is really real here. That's the work. And it works. And those that have worked with me for a long time, can I please have a thumbs up for all those that have been working for me, that this work, when you work it, it works? You can go ahead and put a happy face. You can put an emoji, that this work works when you put it to work. When you put it to work. Thank you, guys. Thank you. This works when you put it to work. My happy ambassadors there that have been with me a long time, they're also light workers in their own right, have experienced this, have experienced this way. And I'm not saying that we don't forget, but we have a collective commitment to wake up. And that takes something. It takes something. And then sometimes when we don't hear the call of God's whisper, honey, wake up. I love you. I appreciate you. Wake up. Remember how amazingly beautiful you are. Remember who you are. I love you. Are you listening? Can you hear me? A little pat on the butt. But then the little child doesn't hear because the little child is afraid. It forgets. It's having a tantrum. No. All these things I've been taught about myself, I've believed them. And now I believe I'm alone, separate, isolated. Oh my God. And having a tantrum. And then there's this pat on the back, this pat on the butt that you have given to yourself to wake up. This pat on the butt is what's happening in the vortex right now. It's of your creation. So that you can remember again who you are. Wow. What a gift. What a blessing. Does it appear in the world as a cluster F, right? Does it appear in the world as if, wow, this is in the world in form, this is pretty intense. This is, wow, what is this, right? I get it. And I don't want anybody here to think I'm not being sensitive. I'm not really seeing what's out there. I have seen the news. I am aware. But at the same time, I live in the world and not of it. So my experience right now is that I'm in Valley Village, I'm in Los Angeles, I'm in front of this light, I'm in front of this computer, and the job right now is to be the light of the world, whatever that looks like for me. And my job is not to dwell on the fear. I can't dwell on the fear. That's not my function. My function is to be the light of the world. So when I dwell on the fear, I need to come back to the light, and that's what we all can do collectively. And this is how we serve ourselves and others. Capisci? Comprendi? What was that? I don't know, but I'm grateful. All right, guys. I'm Maria. In case you didn't catch that, and for all those that are new on the call, I know that a lot of you haven't even been in an online class with me. I have a lot of you that join me for my monthly tune-in. Every month we join here the first Tuesday of the month at 5 p.m. Pacific to just tune in to our happiness. And these are free online gatherings that I do every month. And many of those people are here. A lot of my light workers and happy ambassadors are here. So thank you for being here, guys, and supporting the energetic level here. Also, all of you that are new to my work, thank you for being open, and thank you for being willing to see something different and to join a different online group or to see what this work is about. Because this work, as people have been working with me for a long time, is very radical. It's very different, but I can say that it really changes your life, because I used to live the opposite of that. And I recognized that living my happy meant living in responsibility and no longer being victimized and no longer feeling like I'm the victim of this world. And then you start to have more freedom. All right, guys, let's see here. I just wanted to go down the chat here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add. Next time I'll make sure I bring some tissue. All my leggings are filled with boogers. Happy boogers. Yes, all about the authenticity here. All right, let's go ahead in the chat here, and then I'm going to put links on helpful things, helpful resources for you to have that I have created that can help you at this point in time. Since we have a lot of time at home, I feel like some of these links might be helpful. It's important right now to keep your thoughts in check, and I'm going to share a couple of tips that I do to keep my thoughts in check. All right. So we have a couple messages. Sandra, thanks for joining. I know that you're new to the group. Welcome. Keisha, I just had a call with Keisha recently and a few hours ago. I'm so happy to see you on here again. Keisha's in my the ministerial program, Pathways of Light. Blessings to you. Cynthia from Houston needs a sense of connection with the social isolation. Cynthia, I hope that you have received a sense of non-isolation by joining with us today and remembering the truth of who you are. Did you come to my self-love retreat? If you're in Houston, you might have been there, and welcome and happy to see you again. Elizabeth from Arroyo Grande, California, wants to stay peaceful. Elizabeth, I hope that this satsang, this gathering, brought you peace. It sure brought me peace, and I'm sure it's brought this group peace. Kyron is a light worker in herself. She's in the UK. I met her when I did a workshop there in London in 2018. I love you, Kyron, and maybe at some point I can have you live on these calls to share your story and your truth of what's really real here. Kyron's doing her own ACIM work up in Europe. Love you, sister. Gary from Louisiana. Gary is a light worker. He is a happy ambassador. He is my brother from another mother. I love this guy. Welcome, Gary, and I'm so happy you were here and for bringing your light to this group. Joni is another sister, happy ambassador sister. I love her willingness, her just stepping it up always. And I missed your text messages, Joni. You can continue to text me anytime you want. Amy, I love you, Amy. Amy's also a happy ambassador. I love like I'm seeing all these people that on my crew, my happy crew. Amy's beautiful. Amy is shared with me a text. Amy, is that okay if I kind of share what happened? She sent me a text that she was just a little bit freaking out a little bit, and I left her a voice text back that about what I just talked about now, that it's important not to feel guilty, because right now we might be stressful and we might be doing this work for a long time, and all of a sudden this triggers fear in people. I know it triggered it in you, Keisha, as well. And I feel that we need to be gentle and loving with ourselves within this process, and instead of feeling guilty, oh my God, this work is not working, or I can't believe I should be better than this, I shouldn't be feeling like this. It's just you attacking yourself. So just stop that war and you hug yourself, right? You hug yourself and you love yourself, you honor yourself, and you take care of yourself, and whatever that looks like. So thank you, Amy, for reaching out. I love you. We also think about you because you gifted Ari the potty training thing at some point last year, and we're starting to potty train him, and we're using the potty that you sent us from Amazon. So thank you. Speaking about potty, it's time to let go of that caca, guys. Just FYI. Ramon, I love you, brother. You know that this work has been amazing, and you have been such a light worker. I love you dearly. Thank you for your presence here. Renee, love you, girl. You're always showing up. I love Renee because she's so authentic about her forgetfulness sometimes of who she is in truth, but she always comes back. It's like she is such a light worker, just showing us this and do it. I forget, but I remember. I forget, but I remember. It's so beautiful. Elizabeth, thank you for being here. Yes, this is being recorded, and the replay will be up as soon as I finish the gathering. Please send this link to people. Anybody could register at any point after this filming. Send this to your friends. Send this to whoever you feel might get value from this satsang today. Please send it. We're going to send ripples of love across the world. This call for love is collective. So whatever you can do to share this video and have people listen to it is so beautiful. So if you have if you got any value, or if this video touched you in any way, please extend the message. All right, Liz, thank you for letting Elizabeth know. I love you, girl. You and Renee are just beautiful. I love the way that you're always showing up, Liz. And she's another one that's very authentic of when she forgets and she remembers again. I would love for the next gathering, you probably have some of my happy ambassadors share their experience and what they're doing now to heal, especially using the tools of Live Your Happy and A Course in Miracles. I'm happy that Myla was on the call. I love to have children on this gathering. The air is vibrating with the holy communication right now. Thank you, Gary. Guys, lately my work is I show up and the words are given. And I feel that maybe we all had testimony to that today. It's funny, when I did my workshop or my retreat for women in Houston, I wanted to prepare because it was 10 to 4. It was a lot of hours, and I kept on getting from Spirit, just show up and the words would be given. And I did show up, and I did the workshop without any preparation, just like 4 songs I chose for connecting. Yeah, and it was beautiful. It was such a big healing to not have any agenda. Not to have any agenda. But I kept on thinking, I need to prepare for this gathering. I mean, I need to tell people what to practice. I need to, share with them tools. And I was like, no, I'm going to just show up. And then we were given the tools, weren't we? We were given the tools. It's so beautiful. Hi. Nice. Thank you for being here. I'm happy that people also from Europe and from other parts of the world could join us. Hi, Ine. I'm not sure how to say this name, Gogi. I'm not sure, from Slovakia. This is amazing that people can join us from Slovakia. Ine had to go. And then I think pretty much I've covered everybody that's on the chat. If I've forgotten you, Sandra, thank you. Thank you for being here. Sandra's new also to the group. And it says here, Joni wrote, last night I said, God uses me. Today I called an acquaintance who is 75 and lives alone. He was so delighted that I called. That's beautiful, Joni. That's what we can do at this time, is also text people, call them, see how they're doing, maybe talk to people. You see, with the other vortex, the other way that we were living, we don't have time to reach out to people. We don't have time to text people. We don't have time to call so-and-so to ask them how they're doing. Now is the time we can do that. He was so delighted that I called. He said that he has been depressed and my call made him feel special. We need to continue to be light workers in whatever we can. Just keep asking. Thank you, Joni. Yes, that's so true. That's so true. Thank you, Gogi. I'm happy you're here and that I said your name correctly. Guys, if you feel the prompting, this gathering has been free, but if you have got any value from it and you want at this time to extend a tithe or an offering to my ministry so that I can, these costs could be covered, especially the Crowdcast platform, I highly encourage that. And I'm very grateful for your extension of whatever you can give at this time. I'm going to go ahead and prompt the contributions. Those that have been with me before know how that works. If you want to do your donation via PayPal, you can do that as well. And I'm going to give you guys the link. After I do this, I'm going to go ahead and share some practical things that you can do at this time that might be helpful so that you can keep your mind and thoughts in check. Any amount is fine. I feel that sometimes people don't give because they feel like I'm going to judge them if they give $5 or $1. I mean, it really doesn't matter because everything adds up. And whatever is given is received with much love, be it $1, be it $100, whatever that is for you at this time. But I do have a call of the heart at this time to just be generous and to give whatever feels happy for you. Also, I offer a lot of online resources for free. So your donation helps sustain those resources. A lot of people say, well, what does she use the money for? Well, I pay for Crowdcast. I also take a lot of time of my time to do these videos or to do the Course in Miracles lessons on YouTube every day. So that supports my time of really just giving all this information free to the world. So that's how that works. And then at the same time, your contribution helps me to be able to make a living, to be able to show up for these events and for this extension of love and happiness, as you guys have seen throughout the years that I've been doing. As you guys know, most of my things are offered for free. The stuff that I do charge for is my online programs, which last 9 weeks or 8 weeks. And I also offer scholarships for those, and I use donations for those scholarships when I scholarship people as well. So just so that is clear. Okay, guys, are you guys ready for thank you. Gary says you're especially on fire today and it lit me up. Thank you, Gary. Also, Gary, always thank you for being so generous. Gary's always very generous. and I'm so grateful. Always so generous with his tithe and offerings. All right, guys, so let's start with the first resource. The first resource is my YouTube channel. This is my YouTube channel. I invite you to subscribe, and I invite you to take a look at the videos there. I have over 200 videos with talks that I have given, in different workshops all over Unity churches, different things about love, relationships, how to banish fear in your mind, the egoic thought system, Course in Miracles, and more. Also, I don't know if you guys don't know this, but I'm on Spotify. If you put my name, Maria Felipe, on Spotify, my podcast is on Spotify. And the reason I found out about this is because my husband gave me Spotify, and bye, Ramon. Love you, brother. We're about to finish up soon, guys. I was looking at my Spotify account, and all of a sudden, I don't know what happened. I put meditation or something, and my face came up. And I didn't know I had a Spotify until I saw it on there. And I said, Christian, am I on Spotify? Is my podcast on Spotify? And he says, yes, Marie, I put it on there a long time ago. So that's how I found out about it. It's a podcast that basically you can listen to my talks through Spotify or iTunes or Spreaker. So that's available as well. Just search my name. All right, guys, next one. This is the ACIM playlist of the workbook lessons that I'm doing every single day. I know, I don't know why I set myself up to have to record these every single day, but I have put myself in this position, and guess what? I love it. Congratulations to me, because this has gotten me to really listen to that tap in the butt and to do my daily lessons, because I have the responsibility and if I'm willing to do these lessons and to share them with my community. So this has been very helpful for me to show up every day, even if I'm in bed, about to go to sleep, or even if I don't have makeup on or whatever it is. I just do the lesson and I share it with the audience. And it's very short. They're 5 to 6 minute videos. So I invite you, if you want to start the Course in Miracles workbook lessons, to start them and to also use the videos as to help you practice. So that is that resource. Let's see what else we have here. There is this podcast that I was interviewed in 2017 that was just recently shared on Facebook, and I felt the call to share it with you guys. This podcast, the guy said, and I'll share with you what he said. I told him, thank you for sharing the podcast. And then he said to me, I loved our conversation when it happened. And when thinking about episodes, the best represented what I want for myself and for everyone right now in these uncertain times. You and your book and your work and our chat came immediately to mind. And happy that you finally get to listen, because I told him I haven't listened to the podcast yet. No worries on that front. And then he put, and that was it. So what I'm saying is this guy has 253 episodes that he's recorded, and he thought of this episode for what's going on in the world today and for the work that I do. So that says something. I'm not saying it. This guy's saying it. So I invite you to listen to that podcast. It's called Life on Purpose Show, and to share that podcast if it is of service to you. Okay, if it's helpful. All right, next. I'm listening to Byron Katie's Loving What Is audiobook right now, and it's very powerful. I bought it on iTunes. that made me think of my audiobook and how helpful it's been. And I just invite you also to have a listen to the audiobook. Maybe if you're walking your dogs, if you could go outside, or if you're cooking, whatever that is, here's a Live Your Happy audiobook. And I invite you to, girl, Liz, I'm all over Byron Katie right now. It's so powerful. It's very, very similar to the work of the Course in Miracles. It's very similar to my work. I just feel that it adds a little bit more steroids in it. So I'm down for that. I'm going to start to use a lot of her work in my work. Let me take a breath. All right. Next one. Next tune in. Live Your Happy tune in, guys. For those that are not signed up for my monthly calls, you can do so here. Here it is. This is the free tune-ins I do. You can sign up here. Awesome, Renee. Have fun with your little girl outside. Live Your Happy tune-in. What day is the next one, guys? What's the first Tuesday here? If you guys want to tell me what date that is that April 7th? April 7th is the next Live Your Happy tune-in. Yes, thank you, Liz. That's correct. We're going to have our next tune-in. And let me see, lastly, what I can share with you guys. I think that's pretty much it, what I had here as little tools. I hope that this gathering served you. Let me know if you feel that maybe this is something we can start to do maybe weekly, same day, same time. If you guys feel that, just email me. I'm going to sit with Spirit and see if we do this once a week, to join together as a mighty force of happy companions, to like just really generate this vortex of light and love in this space. I think there's a call for that right now. Let me see here, because I see. Oh, okay. That was the same question I got about the replay. So yes, this replay will be available after, so you can share it with your friends and families. Thank you guys for hearing the call and for showing up, for answering the call for love. I just invite you now to just wrap your hands around you one more time. And maybe now you believe it a little bit more. And I want to see how it might feel different to you, the exercise. Maybe now the exercise might feel different. And maybe you might believe it more because we've gone into this vortex of love. So let's go ahead and say, I love myself. I honor myself. I care for myself. I love myself. I honor myself. I care for myself. I love myself. I honor myself. I care for myself. I love myself. I honor myself. I care for myself. I love myself. I honor myself. I care for myself. I love myself. I honor myself. I care for myself. I am the light of the world. 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 The time has come. I hope you heard the call to love. This is a call for love. We are the light of the world, and that's our job here, is to hear that call. So we say yes to that call now. We say yes to that call. The time has come. The time has come, baby. The time has come. Love you all. Bye-bye. Till next time.